This. Spin it up. Put it up to 200. Oh, there, that'll do.
Fuck you. 200.
We need more fire, Captain. Alright. Well, what we've done is we've gone to BOC and we couldn't be bothered making all this stuff ourselves. So we went and sought out the help of professionals to help us build our Forge/Foundry project. So we've just completed one of the torches. They didn't have all the stuff we needed for the dual torch system we're going to eventually be running, but this is our test run of what we've got so far. So I'm a professional cameraman, don't laugh at me. Yeah, so we've got our regulator. Yep. Thank you. So we've got it, we go right down to a reducing flame, and then we can bring it all the way up to a oxidizing flame used for forging and foundry work. So put it in the bucket for me, so you might be able to see the blue flame a bit better. Alright, so that was our run through. We're going to be doing some modifications to the original flower pot foundry thanks to the King of Random for that build. So we're going to be modifying this hole here so we can actually fit the new forge. However, we are going to be running a newer one, which is basically 2 gas bottles inside each other, a 9 kilo and a 4, and then we'll be drilling holes through the sides and welding in the tips of the gas torches so that it's nice, quick and easy and clean. So you'll be able to just plug it in and off we go. In about 8 to 10 minutes it'll be at melting temperature for most metals with the exception of iron and steel. So this is where we're at. We're eventually running a dual torch build like we said, but yeah, so stay posted. Guys, this will be our first fire up with the new system. We're still using the same flower pot forge, but we have fitted the end of the nozzle through into the inside. It's not really on the angle we wanted, but you know, fuck it, who cares, let's do this. Crank it up. There we go. Holding pressure.
Just up to 200.
Sweet.
Smell it.
Lost some arm hairs. Sorry? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? In the first video we did this in daylight, you couldn't really see the flame turn blue like it has here. You can really see that blue flame a lot better now. Now unfortunately, because of the positioning of the torch end, we're not getting much of the vortex. It is going a bit, but not quite as much, but it is wrapping around the entire crucible we've got here. So that's really the main thing that we wanted to be having, is making sure we got heat on all sides. In a moment, I think we might chuck the lid on a bit. There we go. What's our pressure holding at? Still 200? Excellent. So yeah, we worked out that 200 kPa is about 30 psi that we were looking for. Definitely seems to be maintaining a decent flame here. It's putting off quite a bit of heat, so we're hoping to see this start to go orange fairly soon. But yeah, I'm going to pause right here. We're going to put the lid on and get it hot. Okay, so we're starting to get a bit of good heat up now. It's only been about 4 minutes since we fired this up. We don't think we're at critical temperature yet to actually melt aluminium, but we're just going to leave a can in it and see what it does. We haven't cut through our lid yet, so it's not letting in enough air to be able to make this work properly. So we're just going to leave it off for now. We think it's probably going to get hot enough eventually to be alright, so we're just going to play it by ear and see how we go. But this is not our finished product. We will be making a second one of these torches, and we're going to be making a whole new forge as well. It's going to be a lot more efficient and should be a lot stronger than the one we've got, because we had all sorts of trouble with this one. The lid shattered and it's chipping and falling apart. You can see the edge of it is quite rough. So that's hot, Oscar.
No, I'm trying to feel that.
Okay. The end of that pipe is getting hot, red hot.
Yeah, that's one I'm worried about.
Yeah.
How's the alley?
Hasn't melted. Is it melting?
Melting.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Just playing with the settings for a second.
Alright. So yeah, this is the first time we've used it, so we're making some adjustments as we go to try and keep a healthy flame. Try and keep as much oxygen in the burn as possible. But our crucible is starting to glow. It's getting there slowly. Alright, we'll come back in a bit. Alright, we're back again. So far, pretty good. We're melting cans relatively quickly. I'm not sure how good the bottom of this is actually getting. Yeah, so we're feeding it cans. We've probably put about 20 cans in it so far. And we're just going to keep feeding it more and more cans until we fill it up, really. And then hopefully by the time that happens, we'll be ready to do a bit of pour casting and try and make something. So I'm going to put another several dozen cans in this and come back in a moment. Slag we're going to have to trim off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just heaps of it. We've got about half a crucible of actual aluminium melted down. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of slag on the top. Alright, so my mate works at a metal shop and he managed to get this block of alu.
25 by 10.
It's 25mm by 10mm, and we're going to see just how quickly our new forge is able to melt this down. So you're going to go ahead and put this in now, and hopefully the flames get out of the way, we can actually see it.
What about you on this angle?
Yeah, so because we don't have a lid, it's quite hard to see, but we've got a decent angle at the moment. Now this fire is extremely hot, so I'm going to have to move back a little bit. I'll try and zoom in again once it heats up and starts to melt. But let's see if we can, oh, here we go. Yeah, give it a poke. The bottom's probably melted a bit.
Fucking, she's solid in there.
Yeah.
She's moving a bit.
Yeah, we weren't expecting this to go flat out and just melt it straight down because we haven't got a lid on it, so a lot of heat's getting lost. But once we've built the new forge with the dual burners and the proper construction with a lid, we should see this thing really, really just chew through aluminium block like this once we get it done. Yeah.
So the beautiful part is we use the material that might work.
No slag.
There would have been no fucking slag.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a little bit.
There'll be a tiny bit, a little bit of carbon and stuff, but what's that? Ah. Obviously, there's a massive difference between melting down aluminium cans and trying to go for a 10mm thick block of alu like this one is. It takes a lot longer to get it heated up, so we're just going to be patient and just wait for it to go. It will get there eventually. Once it heats up the whole block, it'll start to melt relatively quickly. So yeah, we're just waiting for that to happen now. It's been in there for about a minute and a half. Maybe a bit longer, I think. So yeah, but as you can see, our crucible is glowing, but it's not quite a full glow that we're looking for yet. But again, we don't have a lid on this, so we are losing a lot of heat just coming straight out the top. Give it a poke.
Poke it, buddy. Give her a good poke.
Yeah, it will. Alright, I'm going to pause here, and when it starts to go, I'll bring us back.
I need to. I can see what it's doing.
Alright, so we're going to give it a bit more push around. It looks like it's starting to get bent down the bottom. So yeah, my assistant here will help me out with this.
Oh.
It's hard to keep a steady angle, and all that fire is right in the way of the camera, so sorry guys, you can't really...
Give me the fucking glove!
Oh, here.
I'm doing my fucking hand.
You shouldn't have lost yours.
These are my gloves. Yours on the floor over there.
Alright.
Oh yeah, she's melting. Ah.
Don't knock it over now.
Yeah, she's melting.
Alright, we're getting close.
Oh yeah.
You see the top of it starting to melt, and we could notice that the bottom has started to bend in on itself, so in a little bit longer I'll come back again and we'll hopefully have it all melted down. So it's been about 5 or 6 minutes now, so it's not going too slow, but we definitely need to have a lid on this thing, so we'll be back in a bit. Alright, so we went away for a little bit. It's been about a couple of minutes, and now the flame's not playing with me, so you can see it's really starting to bend down and curve in on itself there, so we are getting really close to melting this quite a large stack of metal here. So yeah, we've got it to that critical temperature just about, and the next step is pretty much going to be it'll turn to liquid. So yeah, we did it without a lid. That's the power of propane. Okay, we're back again, and I'm going to poke it, and I reckon it's probably going to disappear. So let's have a look, see? And yeah, we have melted a 25 wide by 10 mil thick by about 150mm long solid block of aluminium. So this thing is getting a lot better heat than the original charcoal design we had before. And yeah, this thing is coming along really, really well. So we're going to try and fill this thing up, and we'll come back when that's done. And then we're going to go ahead and attempt to do our very first pour casting of aluminium and make an object. So we'll be back once this is full and we're ready to go with the casting. So we decided we're losing too much fucking heat, so we got Shannon here cutting out the inside of this so that we can actually put a lid on this thing and keep some of this heat in, because it's really struggling at the moment to keep the heat up. And yeah, so we got the guy out, our guy out here is our resident expert with an angle grinder, and he's just quickly knocking out this center piece for us. And then we've got to put a lid on this puppy, and hopefully it'll work just fine, and we'll be able to keep in a lot more of the heat while still being able to feed it cans and pieces of aluminium as we go. So we're going to do that real quick and we'll be right back.
Use the multi-grips to take it off though.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like it should, eh? Alright, so we changed a little bit. We put some charcoal in just to get the efficiency a bit better with the heat holding. We got a crucible half full of value, about enough as we think we'll need. And we're about to do our first pour casting. Yeah, so we are on a different day. We had issues with the gas bottle freezing, so we stopped recording and basically packed up and went back to the drawing board and try and figure out how to make it work better. So we've done that. It's working pretty good. We're running it on a third of the amount of gas we were using before, so we really think, yeah, the charcoal is pretty good as a temporary measure. So we're going to go ahead and do our first casting. So we're just going to set it up here. So we've made a casting out of foam. Alright, and yeah, so my good friend here is going to hold the camera for me. So, we're ready to cast. We're going to take the camera back. And yeah, so Oscar's sort of poured before, so he's got a steadier hand. He's going to try it again. So we're going to just leave the gas running for now, because we just want to get this over and pouring as fast as we can. So we're just trying to find the pouring device. It's over there behind the gas bottle. We are obviously professionals. Obviously, we know exactly what we're doing. So yeah, here we go. This will be our first, hopefully successful casting. Definitely looks more promising than the other one we did. I think it's full, mate. Whoa. A little bit too much, but hey, why not? So obviously we didn't build the stand up enough, but I don't think it's going to affect it, because we do have about 2 inches of foam riser underneath, so we're going to leave this a little bit to cool, and hopefully when we come back we're going to pull out a foam casting of the thing we just built. So we will come back in a moment. Yeah. Okay, so it's been about 5 or 10 minutes, let it cool down, so we're going to go ahead and pull it out. So hopefully it's all worked as we wanted it to, and we're going to have a nice casting when we pull it out. So let's do this.
Oh snap! Woo! Like we fucking did it!
It worked!
Oh!
Oh yeah.
Fuck!
Oh, now that is what we wanted to see. Now obviously we're going to need to do a lot of trimming up and refining and grinding and cutting and getting it all smoothed out, but man, did that work or what? Now I got a lot of excess, but that can just go straight back in the foundry, so no big deal there. So yeah, all right. Well, once it's all done and we've gave it a bit of a polish up and a scrub and all that jazz, we'll be back to show you the finished product. Thanks for watching.